comes with the process. All right, so we're starting here with the ball underneath our left side body. So remember, it's not like underneath your boob. It's more like, in between where your chest and your hip begins. So you can feel that you're like kind of leaning into the ball, but not completely leaning into the ball, like still a little bit of lift. Great, your right hand comes behind your head. You're opening up all the way here and just sensing again what's happening. Good. From here, we take a deep inhale, opening that right knee. And then exhale, closing the knee, reaching the arm. So this is still considered at the moment just our warm up of just kind of checking in with the side body. If you feel like something already feels tight, let's see what we can do to adjust that. So maybe you want to look down at the floor, or maybe you want to not use your arm, right? Like just kind of noticing, hey, this is just an opportunity for me to kind of stretch and be here, and then reaching it out. Great. 3 more. Hello, side body. And all the way back. Awesome. From here, bringing the right hand in front of you, opening up the chest, and you're lifting this right leg just a little bit off the floor. From here, you're pushing in with your fingertips, lifting on up, pointing the toes, and then slowly lowering it down. So I want us to just keep the shape and seeing, can we focus on this entire outside of the leg to lift? But again, we still use the belly, the spine still stays happily long, and the neck can always look down on the floor. Now you have the support of this ball underneath you, meaning like if you feel like you need to melt a little bit into the ball, by all means go for it. Or you can use that other concept of almost like using it to keep the body lifted a little bit more. Great, we have another 5. And if at some point your hip feels like it's too tight, or this is not comfortable, you can always make it smaller, or just gently put your foot on the floor and lift your knee that way. Yeah. And then your last one here. Great, slowly hugging that right knee into you. Great, and then we're bringing the ball out from underneath and using it as our push point, fingertips going at a diagonal at this moment. So you're slowly swinging the leg behind you, reaching again. Where is your point? Are your hips going back? And you already just noticed that you can swing your hip a little bit, swing your leg a little bit further back. And then gently bring the knee in towards you and reach that leg out. So for now, we're gazing either at a point in front of us or down at the floor. Our chest is still very open, side body very long. And we notice again how this stretch forward takes place. You push all the way back, engaging the belly, and then reaching. Cool. 3 more. And what's happening with that bottom left leg, right? Like, do you want to flex the foot? Do you want to point it? Do you want to just forget about it? Whatever feels right. And your last one here. Great, coming back to the center, we're gonna add a full reach. So you're reaching into the ball on the right, allowing the hips to stay more or less stacked, but really lean into it. And on the way back, you bend the knee, bring the elbow back, start at your starting point again. So you're swinging the leg back, reaching all the way, but you're still not dropping that left side body. And you're bringing the knee in, reaching, elbow comes back. So I want you to allow for the lean. And notice again, it's fine if your elbow is on the ball. You don't have to put your palm on the ball the whole time. You're just trusting this rolling feeling. Good, 3 more. And remember, if you feel like you don't love the ball, you can also just reach without it. You don't need the ball. I just personally really like that feeling of leaning into it, but you can also just reach with your arm without the ball. And I just find it interesting because you can notice almost like where you're leaning in. Like now I'm further on my ball than I was when I started because my body got warm. You know what I mean? Cool, last full time. Great. And then all the way back. Super, finding your way back into the middle. Bringing both legs all the way into the center, flexing your feet. And let's do a nice little amount of rolling. So reaching the arms all the way here, belly comes back, forward with the arms. So you're reaching, stretching out that entire spine. Great, and then slowly coming on back, stacking your spine, squeezing the ball, bringing your elbows to your side, almost like the ball goes to your belly. So inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, reach the arms, simultaneously curling and finding that space within the spine. Great, inhaling again. And then exhale, squeeze, actively squeeze that ball so that your arms get nice and active, bringing the ball in towards your belly. Good, 3 more. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, belly back, arms long. And even as you're here, you can lengthen out a tiny bit more on your inhale. And then re-squeeze that ball, stacking your spine, finding your nice amount of length. Great. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze and reach. And sensing again how you're still activating your core, even if you're in this lengthened position. And remember, the goal is not to touch the feet. We're trying to aim beyond. Great, last time, inhale, sit up tall. And you can always use this space to actually bend your knees if that feels better. Or if you feel like you can get more reach. Great, inhaling again. And then exhale, restack on 3, 2, and 1. Super. So let's come over onto the right side. The ball going underneath your right side body. And again, checking in, making sure we're not sinking or that the right shoulder isn't beyond the right elbow. Fingertips, nope, hand behind your head. And remember, if you need to look down at the floor, please do so. So you're inhaling, opening here, and then exhaling, reaching. Now with this reach, you can do a few things. You can kind of make it like a nice flowy reach if you want. You can make it like a super active straight arrow reach. You can kind of do a little bit of both. You can kind of push away. So actually not particular. Just want you to kind of feel what does your left shoulder need at this moment so that this feels as aligned as possible. Can you use it as a stretchy moment? Can you use it as an intentional moment of just reaching? Great, 3 more. Two. Awesome, last time here. Great, so left fingertips come in the front. We're trying to find a little bit more wiggle space, lifting this left knee up just a little bit off the floor, keeping that shape, and you're lifting up and squeezing down. So remember, this is still a very, very present form, meaning a lot of things need to happen so that this hip can stay aligned, right? You still have to work on that openness, right? We still don't want to crunch. You feel how high or how little you want to move. And at any point, look down at the floor for a nice happy neck. Great, we have another 4. 3. Great, and again, sensing where you're at. Maybe even noticing that your leg can lift a little bit higher each time, or maybe not. Last full one here. Great, take a deep breath, open up again, and here we go. So you're reaching that left leg behind you and then swaying it to the front. Now, I just noticed, for example, for me, I needed a little bit more support, so I reached my right knee a little bit more forward facing, or maybe even I need to make this side a little bit less. So just kind of adjust where you can. Maybe you want to reach out a little bit more with your fingers or your whole arm. I still want you to feel how long back you can reach. Maybe it's not a lot. It's okay. Good. 3 more. So interesting on this side. What's happening left side? Your last full reach here, still focusing on that hip stacking feeling. Cool. Ball comes out from underneath. nice and close, fingertips at your long diagonal. And here we allow for that full reach. Remember, take it slow, but trust in the process, and kind of just notice now where your arm is on the ball. And now we're gonna bring our awareness to noticing how each time we're going a little bit more. Actually, I lied, we're coming through the middle this time, we're not swinging. Yeah, there we go. That feels more aligned here. So you're reaching and rolling, and even noticing how much more, even if it's just a tiny bit, you can roll in. Inhale, reach. And yes, that right arm of yours starts to get a little bit warm with the active hold, but still think about that torso lift rather than just the arm. Great, 3 more. Focusing on 2. And noticing again, do you sense that your lower body gets warm, but that your middle is still really supportive? And your last time here. Great, finding your way back to the middle. Bringing your knees parallel and keeping your feet bent this time. You can also dig your heels into the ground if that feels better. Bringing the ball on the tops of your thighs and bringing your hands on top of each other, just gently. Good, elbows go wide. Take a nice inhale, push into the ball as you stack up your spine. And then slowly and steadily curling back, but keep the push on the ball. So you'll notice, okay, I can curl only to a certain point. Where are your shoulders? Can you bring them down? Good, take another inhale. And then exhale, push into that ball, restack your spine up. So it's almost just like a gentle curl back. Inhale, prepare. Push down on that ball, keep the push as you curl. It's almost like you're using that anchor point of the push to just allow that spine to hold and reach. Great, inhale again. And then exhale, push and lift. Super, last time. Inhale, push. Exhale, engage, belly goes back, shoulders down, reaching. You can almost notice that maybe your arms get a little bit longer. Maybe you can go down a further bit. Maybe not. Inhale again, and then exhale back. Awesomeness, everyone. Slowly find your way all the way to the front of your mat. Bringing the hands on either side of the ball and just slowly melting for me on 3, 2, and 1. Great, you're gonna walk your feet a tiny bit closer. Bring the insides of your feet together and then place the ball in between your thighs. Elbows are nice and close and we reach. So your spine is melted completely downwards. We're staying really grounded for this next little set. So you're inhaling, squeezing the ball, reaching on up. You're gonna soften your arms to the side as you open up the knees. Reach and squeeze all the way to the top. Keep the squeeze as the elbows come close. Great. Inhale, squeeze a little bit more. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze a bit as you reach, and as your elbows come back, I want you to squeeze even more. Keep the squeeze. Keep that squeeze going as you inhale up. Great, exhale, release the squeeze. So you're having like various levels of squeezing going on. So there's always like a sense of, yep, I'm squeezing here, your elbows come back. You might squeeze a tiny bit more. Good, keep that squeeze there as you inhale, reach. Take a moment of release as you open your arms softly. Now remember, you're still keeping that entirety of your spine melted. It doesn't mean that you're jamming your lower back into the floor, but we're very aware of the breath of what's happening. And you're exhaling, releasing. Great, inhaling, squeezing the ball a bit. Exhale, squeeze even more. Awesome, last full time here. Inhale, keep the squeeze as you release. Exhale, release the ball, open the arms softly. Inhale, keep that squeeze just a bit. And then exhale, squeeze even more. Great, take another deep breath. Bring your toes and heels one step further apart, reaching your arms all the way up, palms forward facing. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders lift. Good, one hand on top of each other behind your head, open up wide. And we bring the knees into our tabletop position. Great, inhaling, slowly tapping down for me here, and then exhale, reach up. So you're noticing again that there's a nice amount of reach happening as you lengthen, and then a nice amount of reach up. Now you can decide that you want to actually go down to like a 45-degree angle if you feel like that's where you want to stop. Totally cool, and then bring the knees in, or you can find another direction. All right, inhaling, slowly squeeze, exhale. 3 more. And sensing again where your shoulders are at. Where is your back at? Is your belly nice and warm? Great, last full time here. Super, slowly bringing the soles of your feet down, releasing your arms down by your side, and then melting down for me. 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet a tiny bit closer as you push into the mat, lifting your bum, your lower back, your middle back, finding that reach. Great, right arm is going all the way up towards the ceiling. Slowly bring the bum down towards the floor, and on the way up, you squeeze that ball and bring your arm out to the side. So you're reaching all the way up as your bum goes down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. So almost finding just like a nice little flow with the arm, and noticing again what's happening with the hips. Can we keep them nice and stable? Good, 2 more. And at some point, either on the way down or the way up or both, I want you to give an extra little squeeze to that ball. Fantastic. From here, you're going to dig your heels into the ground. Both arms go all the way up. Palms forward facing. You squeeze the ball as you come into your goalpost position. Exhale, release the ball. Now here, if your calves start to say weird things to you, like crampy or something along those lines, by all means, just put the feet down again, okay? So you're trying to keep that squeeze as you open, and exhale, reach. And noticing that your inner thighs and your arms kind of work together in opposition of that openness and squeezing the inner thighs, and then the releasing and the reaching of the arms. 4 more, please. And somehow finding a little bit of peace within. Just noticing that your chest can get open a little bit more each time. For 2. Last time here. Super, feet go down. Melting your spine down on 3, 2, 1. Great, bringing your knees into your chest. And just lifting your hips up for a second if that feels comfortable, just to release anything that might have gotten stuck in your lower back. And remember, these moves are intentionally using your belly. So if at any point your spine starts to talk to you, you make it smaller, you stop for a second, you see where you can adjust, and then you go back into it. Alrighty, so palms all the way down, take a nice inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift, coming back up to your root. Great, take a deep breath in, reaching those arms all the way up, exhale, hold. Here we go, inhaling, hips come down, and as you come back up, you're opening your left arm to the side. And again, in this shape with the left arm, you can choose to have like a super crazy straight arm. I mean, crazy in a good way, not in a bad way. Or you can add just like a little bit of flow, whatever it is. I want it to be intentional, but you can actually just play around with what your left arm feels like doing right now. It can also be something different than your right arm. It's totally fine. And again, there's that squeeze on the way down or the way up or both. You can also keep a nice intentional squeeze the whole time if you'd like. Good, 2 more. And almost think about this as like recalibrating your hips, realigning your pelvis, and finding a sense of just great, all the way up for me, floating this right arm up as well, palms forward facing, heels stay, toes off the floor. And we squeeze the ball as we open, and then exhale, release. So in this position, right, there's no lowering of the hips, we're staying lifted. And you're noticing how those arms continually get actively more open with those elbow reaches. Inhaling, squeezing, magnetizing those inner thighs and stretching it up. And think about it's more than just the inner thighs, right? It's that whole lower core that actually aligns to squeeze and then release. Good. 4 more. And sensing again, where do you want to release a little bit more? Where can you let go? Where do you need to activate? Last full time here. So when toes come down, keep your hands where they're at, and then melt your spine down one vertebra at a time on 3, 2, and 1. Great, knees come into your chest, and take a deep breath. Cool. The ball's gonna go to the side for a moment, but keep it accessible. And let's walk our feet out to the edge of our mat. So your knees are still upward facing, we're not coming in, but you have a nice amount of space here. You're reaching the arms all the way up, finding a nice amount of length in this vertebrae. Exhaling, melting your spine down. Arms come up, head, neck, and shoulders follow when we reach. Good. Left hand comes behind your head. Right arm comes all the way up. We're twisting towards the left side. And actually today, I'm asking you to reach your elbow towards your knee. I know usually I don't want you to do that. But because we have this open space of the knee, we're almost allowing for a bit more of a reach. It's not like your inner knee. I want you to aim for the outer knee. So you're reaching, still trying to keep those hips as grounded as you can. And just sensing what's happening. You're inhaling, twisting, tapping. And then exhaling, reaching away. Now, if you feel like you want to keep your right hand behind your head, and just twist and lift the knee, you can do that as well. If you want to just twist without lifting the knee, you can do that too. Good, 2 more. And then your last full time here. Good, hands behind your head, left arm goes all the way up, and we go straight away to the other side. So again, we're slowly reaching to the outside and then finding your way back. Yes, I really want it to be like a nice journey towards the knee and then an unfolding. Super. And notice again, does this side feel different than the other one? Are you happier to be here or less happy? And it's just about that sensing of your hips that can still ground as your spine twists for the next 3. Last 2. I'm saying if we can still keep this right elbow off the floor, if you notice that it's going down like that, it's okay, but just see if you can lift it a little bit higher. Great, all the way back to the center. Let's toe heel our feet back to our middle point. Take a nice reach for me here. And then exhale, melt down on 3, 2, and 1. Super. Stretching those legs all the way out. Taking a deep stretch. Inhale the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, head, neck, and shoulders follow as we lengthen out all the way here. Cool. So for our hinging session, heels are going to be gently dug into the ground. Knees are bent. If you feel like, yo, I don't need that, you're going to absolutely stretch. I just feel like this kind of feels good for the moment. Finding our way back into a nice hinge here. Remember, core is engaged. You twist all the way to the right. Great, you're opening that right arm only, and then scooping and lifting. Good. Palm goes down, you hinge back a tiny bit more. Inhale, right arm lengthens. We scoop and lift. Great, maybe you even notice that you can twist a tiny bit more and then hinge back a little more. So you can choose if you just stay in the position or you add a little bit more hinging or twisting. Only 2 more. Good, inhale, open. Exhale, up. Cool, full last little twisty hinge move. Inhale, reach, and exhale up. Great, back to the center, take a deep breath, and then find your way stacked up on 3, 2, 1. Soften the shoulders down, and then find your way back again into your hinge position wherever you're at, and twisting just a bit to the left. Inhaling, opening up that left arm, exhale, scoop and lift. Palm comes down, you twist a little bit more to the left, perhaps hinge back a little bit more, open to the left. Exhale, scoop and lift. So remember, we allow for the next 3 to be like a gentle progression sideways, either hinging or twisting or both, or just staying if that's where you're at. Great, 2 more. And your last full moment here, keeping your hips still stable through the center. Great, coming back to the middle, and then exhaling yourself all the way up on 3, 2, 1. Cool. Let's come over onto all fours where we are using the ball. Alrighty, so keeping the right toes tucked, left leg goes long, and we float this left leg all the way up for a moment. Great. If you choose to stay here, let's stay here. If you feel like you're already ready, then bring your right elbow to your right hip. So you're slowly reaching that arm all the way behind, so we have the length of both. Then you bend the elbow and lower the leg. So we're trying to focus on this inhaling, reaching, and exhaling back. Now, even if there is no official weight here, right, we're still using the full push of the arm to add an element of weight. You can also just put your hand on the ball on the floor, or put the ball down and just use your arm, or just put both arms on the mat. Whatever feels good. Great, we have another 4. And noticing how can you stay stable with this gentle bend in the elbow for 3, 2, and then your last one for 1. Great, hand comes down, slowly pushing into the ball, right elbow back, and we're lifting the leg as high as we can right now, and you stretch the leg out and then bend it. So your knee is still parallel. We're not going anywhere else. We're just noticing the long spine, chest open, that full reach with the leg. We have 4 more. And again, even if you don't have a weight on your ankle, think about like pushing all the way with the front of your foot, and then engaging the glutes and the hamstrings to come all the way back. Super, 2 more. And then your last time here. Great, finding your way back to your center, putting the ball just in front of you for a moment, and coming straight away onto not all fours, onto your forearms as you open up your chest here. Great, take a deep inhale, tuck those toes, exhale, lift up the knees, take a left leg out, a right leg out, and then find your way into your nice plank position. Great, if you feel like you want a little bit more space, let's go for it. You're shifting your weight forward here, staying high your ball, and then exhale back. So you're noticing that you can just shift a little bit forward and back. Chest stays open, kissing those shoulder blades together. Think about like a energetic space massage. 3 more. For 2. And 1. Super, knees come down, find your way, shifting yourself all the way back for a nice little open stretch. Coming on down on 3, 2, and 1. Great. Finding your way back into your starting point, and let's do that again on the other side. So, tucking the left toes if you choose, right leg goes all the way long, bringing the ball, left elbow, left hip, and here we go. So pushing that leg up, and then lowering the leg as you bend. So, intentionally choosing how heavy this ball is. Maybe it's super light like a feather, maybe it's pretty heavy. But I want those shoulders balanced, meaning even if we're just on one arm, I don't want your shoulders to be a sign of that. So see if we can still keep those shoulders at an even level. Great, we have another 4. And can we focus on stretching the leg out even more from the hip socket? And noticing how active your belly is on this lift to lengthen and come down. Great, last 2. Last full one here. Cool. Hand goes on the ball on the left or not, depending on how you feel. Left elbow is bent, stretching that right leg up, keeping our balance, and we bend and stretch the leg here. Now, even just having that hand on the ball adds like an element of instability, right? So like, there's a lot of focus going on here. We want to keep that right leg as high as we can for this moment, so that you're trying to stabilize the leg within the movement. Great, we have another 4. And seeing if you can keep that bend in the right arm just a little bit for 3. Shoulders down. Your spine grows even more for 2. And your last one for 1. Super, back to the center, ball goes just there. Coming onto your forearms, allowing a little bit more space, tucking your toes, and then again, lifting those knees up and finding your reach with the right, reach with the left, and come on down. Great, from here we're gonna run in place. So you're just lengthening through the backs of the legs, opening your chest. And you're noticing if you can just lower and lift the knees. If you say, nope, this is not where I'm at, feel free to put your knees down or just hold. We have 4, 3. Keep breathing for 2. And 1. Super, knees come down. And yes, everyone, let's shift our weight up. Awesome. Slowly walk yourself all the way to a nice, tall, seated position. Okay, so let's do a little bit of flowing, because it's fun too, isn't it? Totally. So we're starting here. Nope. Starting here on the left side. We're aligning this left leg on the floor. Right leg stays nice and parallel, and the ball is staying in our right hand, arm all the way up. Great, we're slowly bringing this right foot behind us, shifting our weight a tiny bit to reach for this leg. Left leg goes down, and then you lift your hips up. Great, so you're inhaling, slowly reaching with the left leg, right arm, flexing that left foot, and then reaching on up. If you feel like you don't want that extra hip lift, you absolutely don't need to do it. We're just sensing what we can do right now and just adding a bit of movement. And if you feel like you even want more movement of the arm, you can also like fully swing it. So just really like listen, what do you need right now? And do it. Good, 2 more. And then your last time here. Great, bringing that ball all the way in front of you, nice and long. Stretching out that right leg, lifting the left leg off the floor and pointing. Cool. And we squeeze the legs together, and then we open them up again. Inhale, slowly squeeze. And if you feel like the double leg one is too much, just put your left leg on the floor and just move your right. Good, 3 more. And use that push of the ball whenever you need it. For 2. Last time here for 1. Super, back to the center. And then swing over to the other side. Great, so aligning here. Left leg is long. Oh, my right leg is long. Open up your chest. Left leg is parallel to the floor. Great. Left arm comes all the way up. And then you just bend the knee and kind of place it down, trusting that where you place it is great. Yeah? So remember, we're shifting our weight back just a little bit, swinging, still not sinking, right? Still lifting. Bringing that arm back, flexing the foot, and then lifting the hips up. So this amount of swing is your call. I still want us to shift our weight enough that we notice that the body is in a different position. Like if you really want to come almost back, you can. You can also just make it small, like just a little bit. That's also cool. You can also play around. Each time doesn't have to be exactly the same. We do have 3 more though. Great. And remember that sense of lift comes from all of the body parts. Last full one here. Great, finding your way back to the center, bringing the ball here. Slowly lifting up this right bottom leg and then stretching up the left and then squeezing them together. So remember, you can use the ball to push open or use the ball to push closed. You can always look down at the floor if you need it. We have 4 more. Great. And sensing the directional difference of your leg, right? That bottom leg goes forward, the left leg kind of goes up and diagonal, and how cool that is that you can still do this and control it. Great. 2 more. And your last full time here. Excellent. Back to the center, take a deep breath. And then find your way all the way onto the back for a second. Great. You're bringing the ball on your belly, allowing your knees to open just to stretch out your inner thighs and your hips for a second. And push the ball into your belly like a nice little hug as you bring your neck to the right. And then your neck to the left. Great. 1 more time in each direction. Inhaling, opening to the right. So melty, isn't it? And then exhaling up. Cool. Let's have more fun, everybody. Knees come parallel to one another, reaching the arms all the way up by your ears, and then exhale, head, neck, and shoulders follow. Good. Knees come into the center, and let's start moving. Right leg, ball comes underneath. Left leg, ball comes underneath. So, we're noticing how we can stretch the legs just a bit more than before. If you feel like this is not where you're at and you're not happy here, put the ball behind your head and use it as a pillow. Great, we have another 5. Keep that inhale and exhale out for 4. Great, and reaching not just with the inner thighs, but with that full length of the leg for 3. Almost done for 2. Whee, little ball. Last time for 1. Great, knees come together. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. We've got 1 more playful element. So, I don't think we've done this yet, but I've been doing it a few times this week and it's super cool. So, you're bringing your knees into a tabletop position. You reach your arms up by your ears for a moment, and here we go. You're inhaling, grabbing the ball. Exhale, squeeze and lengthen. Great. Inhale, put the ball back on your shins. Exhale, hands behind your head. 5 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze and lengthen. Now remember, you're still deciding how far back you go with your arms, but I want each move to be a conscious breath. I'm going to inhale. Exhale, lift up the arms in some way, shape, or form. Great. Inhaling, replace. And exhale, hold. It's almost like you can sense your body in each of the positions and where you're working differently or what's needed. Great, almost done here, last one. Inhale and reach. Exhale, squeeze and stretch. Inhale, back to the center. And exhale out. Great, take another inhale. Squeeze that ball. Let's bring the ball behind our head for that pillow. Reaching those legs out, turning your feet out just a little bit, and we slowly switch for 10, 9. So you keep your elbows open, lower back is engaged downwards, your core is happy. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Super knees come in, soles of your feet come down. Release the ball. And then lower down for me on 3, 2, and 1. Awesomeness. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, Paul, for your service. You've been amazing. Bringing the hands underneath your knees, finding that tabletop position, and then rolling yourself all the way here. Great. So let's do a rolling like a ball, but we're gonna stay in this position. So bellies are back. You're rolling to the tips of your shoulder blades only, and seeing if you can keep this shape. So can you keep the consistency of this full shape without whacking your face with your knees? And you're inhaling, curling, rolling, and exhaling back. Good, the next time we're gonna add a nice little leg stretch. On the way back up, you stretch. Good, then you bend and curl. Exhale, up and stretch. Super, last time here. And remember, you're only allowing your body to do what it feels like it needs to do right now. You're holding here for 5. Open up that chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet go on the floor. Shift your weight forward. Open up those legs and hang nice and long as you bend the right and then the left. And you can grab your right ankle with your left hand. If you feel you want to walk your right hand a little bit further back, just stretch out that side, you can do that as well. And then slowly finding your way back to the center. Right hand on the left ankle. And just gently pulling yourself first and then walking the left hand afterwards. Great. Inhaling here. Exhale back to the middle. Great. Take another inhale. And then exhale, slowly rolling up on 5, 4, 3,